Because Carol was talking about traveling with Vance. I've done a lot of traveling with Vance, specifically. Where is he, actually?
He's over here. I'm turning up your microphone. Is up all the way?
So this is as loud as it gets.
Use the other one.
I think this one is louder.
Use the other one.
Yeah.
It's got more baritone.
Sort of like backup.
Check, check. This is the same.
Yeah, but it's better. It's better.
I think it's better.
It's like
Ew. It's better. All right.
Talk in the background.
All right. Well, I might need Vance for this actually because he's got the memory. I don't have the memory. But it'd be weird if he was telling a story about himself. Nobody would be paying attention. So
Let me tell you guys a story about myself. Who wants to hear that?
I want to hear it.
never should have been let out of the penitentiary. That's the story about you. So this was this is storytelling. Truth has nothing to do with it. That's absurd. That's a bad request. So this was, I don't know, what year was this? This was 1999. It was 99.
That was like last year.
Yeah, it was. Based on this t-shirt, it was last year. So, and my mesh back hat, definitely, 1999. So, this was what, 15 years ago, and I and my brother, we had a company, and we'd hired Vance, and actually we'd hired Carol as well. And it was a dot whatever thing, internet. We were trying to internet things, and it was a big disaster. But one good thing that happened was that Vance and I got to hang out together a lot because we worked together. And he had this harebrained idea that he had had since high school to get a 65 Lincoln convertible with the suicide doors. Yeah, it's worth laughing at. I mean, wait, it gets laughable. So it was a 65 Lincoln convertible.
No, this is another book.
I don't, this one's not in the book, yeah. But I did start writing this, and then the wheels fell off it as I was writing it. But, so, this was in the early days of the internet, so it's 1999, and Vance found a 65 Lincoln convertible in Northern California. Outside of Sacramento. Outside of Sacramento, and this is how dumb I am. Vance was like, "Hey, it's the capital of California." I was like, "Sacramento? No one's ever even heard of Sacramento. How could that be a capital? That's ridiculous. It's got to be LA."
Take it back.
And LA's a dump, so it's California. So he finds this thing on the internet, sight unseen, and says, "Hey, Craig, do you want to go with me? I'm gonna go get on a plane, one-way ticket to go buy this car and drive it back." And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds smart. Let's do that. How long is that gonna take?" He was like, "I don't know, like a week. I don't know, whatever, some amount of time." And again, you didn't have cell phones that had maps or anything on them. Like this was a real endeavor, and we didn't plan anything. We just flew there, met the guy in a Waffle House parking lot. The car, actually it was like a Waffle House knockoff. It wasn't even like a Waffle House. It was like Waffle Hut or something. It wasn't even the real deal. And we got there on a bus from the airport. It was full of college students. And on the drive, they were like, "What are you two old dudes doing? Like, what are you two weird beardy dudes doing on our bus?"
Wait, we were 24.
Yeah, but they were like 18. They were. I felt old on that bus. Like I felt more in tune with the driver, who was like 50. At least we had similar taste in music at that time. These 18-year-olds, but all these 18-year-olds were like, "What are you doing? Where are you going?" And when we explained what we were doing, I thought the bus driver was going to pull over and stop. Be like, "You need to go back to the airport, get back on a plane, and go back. There's something wrong with you." And we get to the Waffle Hut parking lot, and when they see the car, they turned the bus off, and everybody got off the bus and was like, this is what y'all are gonna You think you're gonna make it back to Texas? Like, there's mountains between here and there. Like, that's a long way.
Well, wait, the back seat of the car was full of spare parts, right?
Yeah, the top was down, which we should have known something was odd when the top was already down. And there was like a bumper, a couple of bumpers hanging out the back of it, and like an extra dashboard. And the owners at that time had just started doing a complete remodel of the car. So the interior was half one color and half another. It was like this calico situation. And it had California plates, which comes into play later on. And it was running when we got there. Like, we didn't even see it start up. Like, it was just running.
Yeah, he already had it running.
Which, that guy was clever. Yeah, he was like, we're not going to meet at my house. You're not gonna know where I am, and that's gonna be a cashier's check. And sucker! So we gave him the money. We looked at the car. I don't know. We like kicked the tires. We're like, I don't know anything about this. Like, it's a car. It's running now. So we looked at the dash and we were like, none of these gauges really look like is there gas in this thing? And the guy's like, oh yeah, that's broken, but there's gas in it. And I'm like, oh, that sounds reasonable. That's totally cool. We're only gonna drive like 1,500 miles, 2,000 miles?
2,500.
2,500 miles, man. Yeah, so, what do we need to know about gas mileage on a car that gets 5 to 8 miles per gallon? However many gallons are in there. We don't even know how many gallons are in that thing. So, it was running, and we were like, all right, peace. We gave the guy a check, and we drove off, and drove south to San Francisco. The first thing is... Well, there were so many warning signs. This is a bad idea. But while we were like crossing the bridge, was it the Oakland Bridge?
The Bay Bridge.
The Bay Bridge. Yeah, like as we were driving, and like I was thinking, this is amazing. We're like Hunter S. Thompson, and this is so good. And as I'm leaning out, smoking a Cool or whatever, some horrible menthol cigarette that I was smoking at the time. Like, I look down, and then I see a hubcap just separate from the car, like, please. And just, I was like, hey, we lost the hubcap. But of course, you couldn't hear me because the top was down. You can't hear a damn thing.
It was freezing because it's San Francisco.
Yeah, it was cold. We were like, it's fine. So we get to San Francisco. And I'm gonna shortcut a lot of this because there's a lot that happened. It took us 10 days to get back. The car broke down every day, starting, that hubcap was the nicest thing that car did to us. It broke down in a parking garage, like 4 floors down, subterranean parking garage in San Francisco. And that was the first time it broke down. And we had to get like AAA out there, and I had an expired AAA card. But the guy was cool, and he was like, oh, you guys are pathetic. Like, I just feel bad for you. So I'm gonna get it to start, and this is how you need to get it to start. He popped the hood, and he took the air cooler, the air intake off, and he sprayed brake cleaner into the carburetor, like directly into the carburetor.
While one of us cranked it.
Yeah, one cranked it, and it fired up, and we were like, easy enough. That's reasonable. But later on, after driving from San Francisco through California, through Arizona, we got to, it was actually the Grand Canyon. When we hit the Grand Canyon, that was when the first time we needed to actually use this brake cleaner methodology again. The car wouldn't start, and it was like 7 o'clock in the morning, and it was freezing. There was about to be a whiteout. Like, they were going to have a whiteout at the Grand Canyon. It doesn't rain there. Like, they don't have water, and they were about to have a whiteout. So we were going to get stuck in the Grand Canyon if we didn't get out of there. And trying to get it started, couldn't get it to work. So we had the air cleaner off, and I was spraying the cleaner into it, and Vance fired it up, and a fireball shot out the top of the engine, and like caught everything on fire for a minute. And luckily it went out. And we were like, oh cool, well it's so cold out here, let's warm the engine up, that's good. So we got out of there, and like the car broke down 4 or 5 more times. Broke down one time in front of a prison, and we were all beardy, and we looked like, I looked like a prisoner. I was dressed in all blue, like a jumpsuit, and we were hitchhiking in front of the prison, and it was snowing, again. Arizona, like it doesn't rain living there. It snowed on us twice. So, but fast forward a little bit further to the actual story. This is all build up, by the way. This is just strictly build up. We get to Texas, finally, after 9 days, roughly 9 days. And we had replaced a voltage regulator, 2 batteries. We hadn't replaced the fuel pump yet.
The voltage regulator was at Sean's girlfriend's house.
That was a whole other. That was crazy. That was weird. Like New Mexico, they have some towns in New Mexico where they don't have running water. Like it's, and you go to a house party there. Ooh, that's
Town where Craig's brother went to college.
Yeah, he went to college. Those are some fascinating folks, man. And again, this was pre-internet, so they were like, they didn't know what the news was. Like they didn't know. They weren't even sure if they were part of the union. You know. Like, it was, so. We finally get to Texas, and as we're driving through Texas, we're going through these small northern Texas towns. And the first one that we hit, I'm just going to go with the second one. It was called Post. We'd already been pulled over once because we were... Your family's from Post? Sweet Jesus. Wow. You seem so normal. You seem so nice. You got it. Yeah. Wow. You got out. So good on you. But we get to Post after being pulled over in a town nearby, and when we got pulled over in Post, the cop was like, "You have a bad tail light," which we already knew because we already got a ticket for it in the prior town. But this guy was like, "Well, you're gonna have to stay here the night." It was like 2 o'clock in the morning, around 2 o'clock. So you're gonna have to stay here the night, and I have a cousin who owns a parts store that you can buy a light from, and I got another cousin that owns a hotel that you guys should stay at. So we're like, yeah, probably. We somehow financed you. It's like, really? You do seem very nice. You seem absolutely wonderful. Compared to your town. Your town's terrible. So we end up staying in this hotel overnight, and we get up early in the morning because we wanted to get back to Austin. Finally, after this car was trying to kill us the whole time, and we get out there and try to start it, and it won't start again. We had to do the brake cleaner thing, which we didn't have to do every day. We only had to do it a couple of times. This is one of those times. So Vance is inside cranking, and I'm spraying, and the fireball comes out again. Only this time,
you having to spray the brake cleaner.
I was like, "Hey, you got that?" Yeah, I got that. I'm the driver. That's my job. So I'm spraying it in there, and I was really liberal with it. Like I put a lot in there because I was like, we need to get home like really fast. So somehow the speed of spray is going to help out with that. And a massive fireball erupts out and catches my arm on fire and catches the can on fire. And so I'm standing there, like my hand on fire, and so I just drop it and I just kick it. And I just kick it and it starts rolling away. And then I'm looking at the car and the car is on fire. And then I got a bomb like rolling away in this town that I'm like, that's cool, like that's fine. Like, wherever that goes, I'm good. But I was like, I don't know what to do at all. And Vance gets out, he just coolly walks over and grabs the air intake and just puts it onto the carburetor. Like while it was on fire, he was just like, poof, and it went out. And he's like, all right, let's go. Firebomb rolling away. Yeah, let's get out of here. So we just get in the car and we drive off. And that's actually the story, and that's really Vance, like in a nutshell right there. Like the car is on fire, there's a bomb about to go off somewhere else, and Vance just prioritizes very quickly. He's like, we need to get home. The rest of it could settle itself. So we left, and we did make it home. And the wonderful thing about this car is that it continued to plague us for many, many years. I'm going to say like 2 or 3 years after that.
Yeah.
Every time I rode in it, every time he would get it running, and I would get in it, it would break. Something would happen with it. But there was one time where it tortured somebody other than me, which was great. It was, what was the name of that cafe? It was across the street from where it was housed on Lamar.
La Madeleine.
Well,